For more tips and tricks, don't forget to hit that button and subscribe. Also, ring the bell so you can get notifications anytime I have new videos. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video and drop a comment down below. It costs nothing and we're having some really cool giveaways. I'm going to give away 2 gift cards for $100 each for FastCap. Really cool products at FastCap. If you look, they have something you like. This is the glue, 2P10. I use it all the time, especially for crown molding. Also, you can check out these. They have these fences that go onto my DeWalt saw. Incredible stuff. That's made by FastCap, the crown stop fence. On top of that, we're going to have a giveaway with this 18-volt Metabo multi-tool. It has an 8 amp hour battery that will come with it and a charger. We're going to choose 3 winners from the first 100 people that comment. So make sure you drop a comment. Check it out at the end of the video and I'll tell you a little bit more. Welcome to Paulstoolbox. I'm Paul Ricalde and today we are going to cover vaulted ceiling crown or cathedral crown. This can get a little bit more complicated than regular crown. So if you don't know how to do regular crown, you need to see that video first. I have 2 other videos prior to this one at Paulstoolbox.com because I'm putting together a school to show you from A to Z how to cover crown molding. And we'll do all types of other stuff too. Just this right here can help you along if you just go to my first 2 videos. If you know about crown and you've already cut it, this will really be helpful for you because there's some secrets that are going to make this thing so much easier for you. If you understand crown, this is going to be simple for you. Let's get started. All you have to do is make a simple mitered corner. 45-degree cuts for a 90-degree angle because this is a 90-degree wall. So we take our piece and we put it on the wall, just like you would a regular flat ceiling. The only difference is you're tilting this up. When you tilt it up, it's going to make this kick out right here. The wider this is, or the thicker it is, the more it's going to kick out. See how it sits on there? When you go flat, that's the way it would sit on a normal wall. But your ceiling is off, right? Your ceiling goes up. So when you tilt it up, it's going to kick out. This is going to touch the ceiling right here, but it kicks off the wall. The more I go up, the more it kicks out. So if you have a steep slope, you're going to have to make something other than caulk to fill this. I'm going to be covering that soon at Paulstoolbox.com. We would take our pencil and we make a mark right here. And I've already done all this. The reason why I have the tape on here is so you can see the marks. You see my line? That's what we're going to go off of when we put this in place. This kicks out a little bit, so your measurement from here to up here is going to be a little bit shorter. You see where it ends? Right here is where your cut ends. That's where you want to measure from, not back here where it touches the wall, because this is where your cut's going to be from. The next thing you want to do is get a sample piece. Make your cut that you need. This is 7.5 degrees. Touch it in the peak, and then you'll mark it right here. Now we have our intersecting line. From this line right here to here. I know I come a 1/4 inch off over here and I'm measuring to this line. So I have 21.25, which means 21 is going to be my full cut from long point to short point. Remember this, if you're going to cope it into your slope, you always cope your horizontal piece. Your slope will have to be cut to match this wall. And here's the trick. You have to cut it right side up. So I take this right here. If I was going to cope it, I would need to butt into this wall. So if I do, it's going to tell me that I need a 15-degree single cut. It's right here. It says right side up, 15 degrees, and my long point is at the bottom because it's got to touch down here. I set it where my lines are, slide it down, and look how it perfectly aligns with the wall. If I was to cut this upside down and backwards, it's not going to match on there. But what if I cut it flat at 15 degrees? Nope, still won't match. You're going to have a gap, and you're going to wonder why. I'm cutting it right, so right angle, and I still have a gap. That is why. This was cut upside down and backwards, okay? 7.5 degrees each. So when I go to put this together, look at it. It kicks out. It's an outside cut. So if I try to put it on the inside of the wall, look what happens. I can't get it to fit. So when you put them up together, separately, you can see you cannot close this. You still have a gap. I want y'all to really understand why this is so important. If you look at it in the regular position it was in, it's an outside cut. But when you start bringing it in, look what you're doing. You're separating it to make it an inside cut. May not look like too much from the front. You figure you could fill it with caulk, but you really can't. You're going to have a big gap in the back that's not going to seat right, and it's going to crack. And the more of an angle this is, the more it's going to open up and cause a crack. Now this is 7.5 degrees, just like the other one, but it's right side up. Now watch when I put it in here. It sits just right. You will definitely need one of these when doing Cathedral crown. And it works for all types of trim because it gives you an exact measurement. This right here breaks it down for your miter saw. It's called a miter saw protractor. I'll have links in the description box. But this right here will tell you what these angles are. It tells me that I have 7.5 degree miter cuts that I need for this. So I need two sides, 7.5 degrees, to go together, and it's going to match this perfectly. Well, if I look at my single cut, it can throw me off. It says 75 degrees. Why is that? That's because you take and work this off of 90 degrees. Just use a little common sense. If it says 75, but my two miters are adding up to 15, well, this is a 15 degree angle. So my 75 degrees, I would subtract from 90 to get this, okay? Easy stuff, because this works off of 90 degree angles for your miter saw. Your miter saw can't go to 180 degrees, so everything is set up for a miter saw at 90 degrees. Now if I take a real protractor, a true angle protractor, and I set it up here, it tells me I have 165. Well, wait a second, this one said 75. If you take this 165 and you subtract it from 180, you got 15 degrees. Both of them tell you the same thing. It's just that this one breaks it down to make it easier for you. And it tells you what your miter is. You don't have to figure it out. This side goes into the wall. So I will take this and drop my crown stops on there. Make sure this is in position. Lock them tight. Slide this over. We got a 45 degree angle. The long point at the bottom for inside cut. Right side up. Top is my peak. Easy street. So now we need 7.5 degrees. Since we're right side up, we have to readjust this. Drop it. Drop it. Now we're going to cut this. And this saw makes it easy. We need to make the peak right hand cut, so we'll set this at 7.5 degrees. And we will cut this. We will need our regular 45 in a nested position, so we'll set it at 45. Upside down and backwards in the nested position. Activator on this side. And we have our lines on the bottom and top of this. And this will sit right in place. Boom. This is not much of an angle, but if you look, you'll see the meat on this. It is not hidden like on an outside cut. So you really have the inside meat on an outside cut. This is an exaggerated view because I cut it at a 45 degree angle to show you. But look, this is an outside cut because it is cut upside down and backwards. The long point is at the top. This one, the long point is at the top, but you see the meat like an inside cut. To take this, slide it in place. I'm not even going to glue it. I'm just going to tack it in place. And you can see how well this matches. Well, I'm glad you guys stuck around to the end of the video. Drop a comment below. First 100 people that comment, we're going to pick 3 winners. To increase your chances, the best thing to do is go to Paulstoolbox.com and put your name in there as well with your channel name from YouTube so we can correspond to and get in touch with you. That way we'll have your email address and let you know you are a winner. I have another surprise for you guys, and this is going to blow your mind. You'll be able to see how to do this real soon at Paulstoolbox.com. So, I take my piece that we had earlier, right? I recut it. So we put it in position. Let me shoot it real quick with my Metabo gun. You see how you can do this with no transition piece. When you go to Paul's Toolbox, very soon I'm going to have this other video showing you how to get this tight and this tight. So you won't have to caulk it. You won't have to fill it up with anything. It's going to be just a nice, clean look. I'm going to make things easy. A lot of times people have trouble going to the links in my description box, so I'm going to put them in the comments below. You can click on the links and go directly to Paulstoolbox.com. You also want to check out my buddy Scott Fontana. He's the guy who invented the crown stop fence, and I'll have a link to his channel as well. He's a very good carpenter, so you want to check out some stuff he's got.